So we have a couple of different ways of working with clients. We sell certainly pre-roll, and we have interactive pre-roll. We work with clients on developing things outside of just direct 30-second commercials where we integrate different creative options there. And we also have overlays. And overlays seem to be forgotten by a lot of advertisers and perhaps a lot of publishers, but it can be very effective because it's a good creative outlet. It draws engagement from a consumer where they can interact directly with something that the brand is trying to accomplish, or even retail clients. You could explore the product. So those two forms of advertisements work quite well, and we have a good business there. We unveiled a full slate of shows at the NewFronts, and that becomes something that we talk about in two ways. One, we certainly talk about the great content that we have, and it's fantastic actors and comedians, a show called Mainly Murder with Rob Hubel and Tim Meadows and Andy Richter in the show, and a great set of writers. And we have working with those folks, working with a company called Rooster Teeth with a show called The Gauntlet, coming back for a second season. We have a show called Jewelry Star. So there's a lot of different opportunities for consumers to watch the great content, but we also showed that to advertisers to say, okay, there's a lot of integration that you could do. Something like The Gauntlet was sponsored directly by Geico. So it's a direct sponsorship model. It takes you out of the regular just running ads in front of and over the show. So there's a sponsorship model that works very well. We also have integration. We have advertisers like Clorox integrating with some of our cooking shows. We have giant stores like 7-Eleven creating content with us, a road rally where people are going to different 7-Elevens as check-ins, right? So it's much more robust than simply ads above and in front of and after content. We work very closely, and that's the whole reason for the NewFront is to get in front of those advertisers to tell them about the integration possibilities. YouTube is part of their announcement, certainly talking about what their new slate is and what their direction is for this year, a complete change from what they did last year. Last year it was about throwing a lot of money at professional shows and content developers, stars basically, and big production companies and traditional media companies. This year now they've moved away from that and talking about their homegrown talent. So it's created a lot of opportunity. Specifically for us, it's been great because now we've been able to sign deals with those homegrown talents. So we have a production deal with now one of the biggest internet stars, Ray William Johnson, a YouTube sensation, over 8.5 million subscribers to his channel. We're now going to enter into a production deal with Ray and bring a whole new slate of shows to market. So it's, whatever YouTube has been doing has been great for the overall industry, but specifically for us, it's been very positive. We also have a show, a production deal with My Damn Channel, which is also giving us access to a show called Daily Grace, which is very strong among women and young viewers. So the YouTube ecosystem is certainly thriving, and we're able to partake in that quite readily, and it's been a great relationship. The data world and the ad network world, I know it very well. I spent a long time there, and a lot of people know me over the past few years working very deep in the technology space. And it's a fantastic market. This is a technology revolution that's happening in our industry, in the media business, right? Now, what we're doing here at Blip is a little different. We're really focusing on the content and the creativity and working with advertisers to have access to that content and communicate with consumers through the creative channel. We'll be adding in technology. We're not running away from technology, but this is the technology that we have in our player is extremely strong. But what advertisers also want is the infamous third-party analytics that they could look at everything all together in their buys, and we'll be there. We'll have partnerships with every major company when it comes to tech analytics that gives advertisers that comfort in knowing something that they're delivering is not just happening in a vacuum. And that's the way it should be done. I don't think that people who are creating content should also create the technology. I think those two things should be separate, and we'll be doing some pretty exciting partnerships over the upcoming weeks and months, which we'll announce, which will give us that ability to talk to advertisers as everyone likes to say, apples to apples in measuring the viewership that they so desire.